Leicester City continue to defy the odds in the Premier League, and myself, Jason, most neutral football fans are now behind them fully. I am done underestimating Leicester every single morning. Because trust me, I try to go for the games, but it's early morning games. I wake up, I rub my eyes, my hair's all over the gaff, and I look on Twitter and I'm thinking to myself, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I putting a tactics video up underestimating a team? Besides the fact that they're fantastic together, they work well, they've got great chemistry, they're a better team than Manchester City. That goal, Mahrez's goal, left Otamendi or Demichelis. Bus, please.
Shocking.
Where am I?
Otamendi and Demichelis can't play defense.
Bus. I need a bus home.
I'm just saying.
Got ripped. No, they can't. But Mahrez is a phenomenal footballer.
Oh, no.
The football that they played from that goal. Huth wins it. They pressure Zabaleta, win the ball. Kante and Drinkwater are like two hyenas. Hey! Trying to get the ball. They win it back. No, I'm already up. Don't take me down. I'm on a Red Bull this morning.
Push it down.
They get the ball up. It's played into Mahrez. Bang. Step over. One way. Top bin. There's your dinner. Good night, Manchester City. Come on, Leicester. Win this league. You want to win it. Go on and win it.
Obviously, they want to win it. So here's where I'm still furious with Manchester City. God, man, De Bruyne goes down, and that entire freaking midfield falls apart.
It's almost as if someone predicted it.
He was that important to the team. So people were saying, like, oh, they got all the star power. They got the guy Aguero who can score and finish up front. By the way, I'm one who said that too. And they got Raheem Sterling, who's wicked fast on the end of the wing. Right, Francis?
Yeah.
And you have De Bruyne in there. Yeah, they needed De Bruyne. He was the mold. He's
direct.
doing what Ozil was doing for Arsenal when Arsenal was playing much better earlier in the season. But no, now you got to say, you have to actually sit down to yourself and say, just for this period of time, in the present, maybe not for the future, but in the present, you're a moron if you're not going to take Mahrez, Vardy, and Kante, and just Drinkwater because he's got the best name ever, over Aguero, Sterling, and let's go with Silva. I know, they're career-wise, those Aguero and Silva have done so much more than Vardy's ever done, than Mahrez has ever done, but they got beat plain and simple, and it was a pleasure to watch. Not that I don't like Manchester City, but I can tell you, if you can sack a player, Otamendi should not be traveling with the team.
Oh, no. And
he is unbelievably uncoordinated on defense.
And
they turn around on him. He can't backpedal.
That's a good point. And trust me, I'm first to put my hand up and say I'm an idiot. I predicted that Manchester City would come away with a victory here. But what I did say, if Leicester could do, they would find success, is isolate those centre-backs, not just by playing against them one-on-one, but how do you play against them one-on-one? Lure out the anchor in the midfield. Yaya Touré's caught way too high up the field because when they play without De Bruyne, they try to play that triangular midfield and try to pressure Leicester City. But Leicester City are defying the odds of the Premier League. You know that 4-2-3-1 that every team and their mother likes to play? Ranieri scrumples it. Get out. I'll play a standard 4-4-2. I'll counter-attack football. I'll turn it into a 4-3-3 when I'm moving so fast up that field. Smart decision. Sticks to his game plan. I just want them to win it. If they get a point, just a point against Arsenal. Like I stated on camera, I can't remember. I mean, I'm everywhere. You know me, I'm everywhere. Can't remember where it was. But it was when they asked me what do they need to do, I said if they can get 4 points from these next 3 games, just 4. They could get a loss, they could take a loss, they could win and get a draw. They're in good stead. They're still in a good position. They've got 6 points.
They're 6 points
They're
clear.
max. If they get 1 point against Arsenal, I think it's going to be a struggle for anyone to catch them because the lead up after that, I believe it's Norwich. Got to be a win there. And this is what I don't want to happen.
Don't get
complacent. Don't get complacent against these smaller teams because everyone is out to get you now. If you're Leicester, everyone is out to try and hit you hard. They'll want to knock you off that pedestal unless you're just a good team and just be like, you know what? I want Leicester to win.
The thing with Leicester, it's like you play by their rules long enough and it becomes your game, right? So they played by the Premier League rules for this entire season, and you watch them play, and they decided, I don't know when it was, I want to say 3 weeks ago, they really decided, no, we're going to double the pace. It started with Vardy's hot form, where that's where all their goals were coming. All their goals were coming from was Jamie Vardy, which I loved. And it was exciting, and he set the record for most consecutive goals in the Premier League. Very cool. Good for you, Vardy. That's awesome. But Mahrez has created so much for himself and his teammates. He's so unselfish. The Kante signing, I know we mentioned this, Albrighton you were talking about earlier. And, you know, it's crazy because their back four is not great.
Not great at all, but
they work well together.
Two big tree trunks at centre back. Two tree trunks, so they encompass structure. Like Robert Huth and Morgan have no right to nullify Sergio Aguero because they're big, they're not as mobile, but they stick together. They don't get split.
You gotta want it more.
Yeah,
they wanted it more.
And Huth, credit to you, mate. 2 goals, scored 2 goals in this game.
But that's what I'm talking about, the unselfishness.
Steps up.
And that's usually what leads to. I would think in my sports, the sports I grew up with in America, it's always and when you get down to the end of a season, it comes down to the players that step up that you don't think will step up, that really show that come in at the right time. For baseball, it comes to mind as David Eckstein. People don't get that reference. That's fine. For basketball, you can look at last year, like Dellavedova's one game where he played amazing. It's it's those type of players
like that
really progress. It also motivates the team more.
Iguodala.
It's awesome. That's a perfect example. Is Andre Iguodala last year, shutting down LeBron. But back to the point, Manchester City now goes and plays Tottenham next weekend, and Man City could be in a lot of trouble if they drop points. I think that Tottenham is not as good as Leicester, and they play a slower game. So I'm not going to immediately just go like Man City's out, because their form this whole season's been lose big game, win big game, draw, lose a big game, smash a team. So they haven't won back-to-back. So I would bet on Man City this weekend, actually.
And it would be, I think Leicester.
You got to bounce back.
I think Leicester might want Manchester City to beat Tottenham. Like now Tottenham with a close team.
That would help. Leicester plays Arsenal next weekend?
Yeah, Leicester plays Arsenal. And it's now a different kettle of fish in terms of who's chasing them. Arsenal are going to be pushing further, and I mean, they got a big win against Bournemouth. Ozil seems to be back on form. This could be a run that Arsene Wenger's men really need. If they beat Leicester, it changes. It changes so much. That's why it's so exciting. But Tottenham, second place.
That's a big 3-point swing.
Tottenham are there. If Tottenham beat Manchester City again, they take that confidence. They use that as a springboard to push forward. Manchester United sitting out the running. Firmly believe that now after that shocking display in the last few minutes. And I must touch on this. You just mentioned it there. I wanted to go back to it. Huth and Morgan, that back four, composed, comfortable in the chaos. Look at a team that on paper spends 200-odd million. Daley Blind, just a instinctive, stupid decision to pressure a ball that he does not need to do in the last minute. Slips, gives them an open gap. There you go, mate. Have your chance. You look at someone like Borthwick Jackson.
Talking about United and Chelsea.
Chelsea. Daley Blind's rash decision, and I like Daley Blind as a player. I think he's smart. But that's the difference between a team that's going to win the Premier League. They're composed under pressure. They're comfortable in the chaos. But Manchester United, no. Daley Blind's like, I've got to make this tackle. Rushes out the back line, gives an open gap. Borthwick Jackson does everything he can to try and stop Costa, and it falls to him, and he puts it in the back of the net.
Watching Manchester United versus Chelsea, like after the 70th minute, was basically like, Manchester United probably won't screw this up. 5 minutes later, yeah, they screwed it up.
Very true. And to end the note, and a positive note, it's not just everyone that wants Leicester to win for the sake of them winning. Everyone loves when we get one up on the bookies. They take so much money from us. They break our hearts.
Oh, no sympathy to the bookies.
No sympathy to the bookies.
Oh, no, the bookies going to pay out like millions of pounds.
One fan is waiting for a £25,000 pre-season bet that he put on. He put on a £5 bet that Leicester would win it, and they were 5,000 to 1. So technically, he's going to take in 25,000.
Leicester to win the league was 5,000 to 1.
5,000 to 1 pre-season. He put that on. He put £5 on it. Not just that, bookmakers as a whole, and we were talking about this before. You often, bookmakers will weigh it up compared to how much money they took in and how much money they have to pay out. Like if Man City win the league, they're going to have to pay out something, but it's nowhere near as much as they take in.
So much money.
In this example, they're going to be out. They're going to be out money because they're expected to pay out £2 million if Leicester win the league. When I imagine that they didn't take in more than maybe £1,000 or £2,000, generally speaking, there might be more of people putting money on Leicester. So they're going to pay out a lot.
Harry Kane is only, I think, 4 goals short. Only 4 goals. A lot of goals. Of the leading scorer.
Yeah, Harry
I'm close.
Hitting his form as well.
I really need him to just. But that's the thing. If he strikes form, that means.
Did you put a bet on the start of the season? For
yeah, Harry Kane. I did not put on Jamie Vardy. I sure as hell didn't put on Romelu Lukaku, who's also right up there.
Right up there as well.
That's it. That's all I got.
Close running. But we want to know what you guys think in the comments. Really get into this discussion. What are your thoughts on Leicester? The simple question is: does everyone want Leicester to win this Premier League? I know if you're an allegiance towards Chelsea or Manchester United, I want us to win the Premier League, but let's be realistic now. If you're a neutral fan, do you want Leicester to win this Premier League? Because I'm positive that we want them to win. A lot of people want him to win. Neutral fans coming out. I'm sure there's Pep Guardiola's probably sitting in his seat going, yeah, go on, Leicester.
Maybe I'll go to Leicester.
I want you to win. Maybe I'll go to Leicester instead. Hit us up in the comment section below and on Twitter at Francis_Maxwell, at JasonRubin91. And I'm sure someone will make some sort of meme out of my hyena impersonation, so make sure to throw that up on Twitter as well.